So I had a student ask me to go ahead and see if I could make a video to go over how to find the greatest common factor and the least common multiple. I believe that this actually may have also been homework for Mr. Johnson's class or Mr. Reagan's enrichment class. I'm not sure. But I said I would go ahead and try. I am doing this on my laptop, so the quality may not be as good as other videos, but we'll try this. So in this one, they want us to find the greatest common factor. And that basically means, let's make this a little bit bigger. As I said, I'm doing the camera. The GCF is, which is greatest common factor, are the numbers that multiply to get the number you asked for. Okay? And there's a few different ways to lay these out, but basically it's kind of hard to see. I think the first one says factors of 33, is I think that what that says, and 24. So the only way to get 33, and I apologize if it doesn't say 33, but that's what it looks like to me. The only ways to get 33 are to multiply 1, so I would put a 1 there, and over here I would multiply by 33. Okay, now the greatest common factors of 24. So let me move down here and let me change the color. And I can get 24 by doing 1 times 24. So those are factors. I can also multiply 2 times 12. And this is actually how I would do it. I would kind of lay these out with space in the middle. 2 times 12 is 24. I can multiply something by 3 to get 24. It's 3 times 8 is 24. And I can actually also do 4. 4 times 6 is 24. That gives me all the room. Now I can't do 5 because 5 does not divide into 24 without a remainder. If I'm not sure, I can do 24 divided by 5 is 4.8. So that's not a factor. So then they're asking for the greatest common factor, which in this case, the only one they even have in common is 1. So 1 is the greatest common factor. Now, I have a feeling that that doesn't actually say 33 because it's not one of my choices down here. But that's the best I can do here. Again, this one looks like it says 33 again, so I'm having trouble. So let me go to one I know I can read. Let me go to number 4, which is 16 and 12, because I know that I can read that. So factors of 16, I can say that 1 times 16, that is a way to get 16. I also know 2 times 8 is 16. So yes, you really kind of do have to know your multiplication facts. If you're not sure, you could go over here and you could go 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, so 2 and 8. 3, not a factor of 16. If you're not sure, you can do the reverse. 16 divided by 3 is 5.33. That's a decimal. Okay, that doesn't work. And 16 divided by 4. Well, I happen to know that 4 times 4 is 16, and there's only one little line there because you don't list 4 twice. So those are your factors of 16. Those are all the numbers that divide into the number you're asking for without a remainder. Now, let's look at factors of 12. So factors of 12 are 1 times 12 would give me 12. Okay. I happen to know that 2, let's move that over there, times 6 would give me 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And I do not need to do anything more because 4 now, the reason I lay it out this way, as you can see, now I have like my numbers that are larger than 4. So the greatest common factor here, they have 1 in common. They both have 2. And they both have 4 in common. Since 4 is the largest number they have in common, that is the greatest common factor. Okay? And the answer for 4 is 4. I was thinking that these things at the bottom might be your possible answer choices, but there's no 4 there. And the greatest common factor here is 4. So I'm going to skip down and I'm going to go, I'm not going to do all of these, but I'm going to give you some ideas here. I'll go on and do number 6. So for number 6, 6 ways to get to 28. Well, 1 times 28, 2 times 14. And if you weren't sure, you could check it with division. You could say 28 divided by 14. Oh, sorry, it was 2. 28 divided by 2 is 14. 28 is not a factor of 3, but if you weren't sure, you could check it with a calculator. Not a factor. 4 is a factor. If you weren't sure, you could check it with a calculator. And you get 4. And you get 7. Those are your factors. Now let's do the factors of 22. So I could do 1 times 22 2 times 11. Okay, so I'm going to go to my highlighter. They have 1 in common as a common factor. They have 2 in common as a common factor. And 2 is the largest number, so 2 is the greatest common factor. So hopefully this is a good review for you of greatest common factors. You should be able to do the rest of these. Let's look at the next sheet, which I'm going to assume is least common multiple. Let's see. It is. So multiples are basically multiplying by each number. So for instance, let me go over here typing. Okay. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 5 is 30. So again, it's good multiplication practice. 6 times 6 is 36. Whoops, I hit 26. 6 times 7 is 72. What? Wait, why did I go to 6 times 7? Hold on, let me check. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not 72. That's my problem. It's 42. Now, it looks like there's another line there. They want me to go to 48. But once you have multiplied these two numbers together, 6 times 7, you're going to get a common multiple. Just a question of, is there a number that is less than 42? So this is 14. And then I'm going to just do it this way. Then we'd have 21. And 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. Okay. So the one that they have in common, the first one that they have in common is 42. Okay, so let's try the next one, which is 10. So what I'm saying is that if I come over here and I say 10 times 12 is 120, that means they will definitely have 120 in common as a common multiple. But we want to see if we can get a number that is smaller, less in value. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to actually take this down to 10. I'm going to do blue, and I'm just going to type these in. So 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times 6 is 60. 10 times 7 is 70. 10 times 8 is 80. 10 times 9 is 90. 10 times 10 is 100. Whoops. 10 times 11 is 110. 10 times 12 is 120. Okay. Now let's try 12s. Switch that to red. 12 times 1 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. 12 times 5 is 60. 12 times 6 is 72. 12 times 7 is 84, I think. Let's try that. 12 times 7 is 84. 12 times 9, 96. 12 times 10, 120. So we want to find the lowest that they have in common. So they don't have, oh look, that's a 60 and that's a 60. So even though they have 120 in common, oh, that's messed up. That should say 120. The least common multiple, the one that is the lowest in value, is 60. Okay, so for instance, 2 times 3 is 6. That means they're going to have a common multiple of 6. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Oh, I'm trying to finger right. That's ugly. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So in this case, 6 is the least common multiple. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how to do least common multiples, and that's a little bit of an overview so that you can do greatest common factor and least common multiple.